Do it. Dirt track specialist. 3, 2, 1.
The guy was trying to ride a bicycle up the long grade as the brothers turned their primer gray Dodge onto the bypass. "Look at that faggot pumping away," said Larry. "Let's have some fun," said Sam. "Hold on, Sammy. We got to go on and meet Cooter. He'll sell that rock." "He ain't gonna sell that rock. He probably ain't even got a rock. More likely he wants us to ride all the way out there, say he can't find it or he sold it or something, and then ask us for a ride to the store." "No, no," sang Larry, who knew his brother was probably right but chose to remain optimistic. "Coot said he had some of the most pure rock ever. Coot always says that, Larry. Now watch this faggot jump." Sam brought the car alongside the cyclist, who tried in vain to ignore them. Hey, dirt track specialist, I'm talking to you. Hey, motherfucker, you listening to me?" The guy was really trying to concentrate on making it up the half-mile-long rise. "Listen, motherfucker, I'm going to go back down this hill and start over. And if you don't make it over the top by the time I get back up here, I'm going to run up behind you and help." The guy was already beginning to try and pick up his pace without completely panicking. Sam turned the car lazily across the 3 empty lanes and back down the hill, the Dodge circling like a shark back across the highway. He parked on the shoulder facing up the hill again. The biker was pumping away like a madman now, standing in the stirrups and looking over his shoulder at the big gray monster parked at the bottom of the hill. Sam hit the gas. The tires burned rubber through first, second, and third gears. A long plume of smoke rose behind the car as it charged up the hill. The deputy saw the Dodge that hit the bike, and he could hardly believe his eyes. His fatigue vanished. He drove in an arc across the median and headed back up the hill. The driver of the Dodge appeared to be surveying his handiwork, unaware that a patrol car was approaching. The deputy was cool behind the wheel of the cruiser in spite of the adrenaline flooding his body. Backup was already on the way as he parked behind the primer gray Dodge and flashed his lights. The Dodge surged forward, tires squalling. The deputy wanted to give chase immediately, but instead spoke into his radio before getting out to check on the cyclist, who was about 50 feet away, entangled in some fencing. He imagined himself there already, taking the victim's pulse, but as he approached, he saw that the neck had nearly been severed from the body by the fencing wire. He spoke into his radio again as he jogged back to the patrol car to give chase. The deputy thought he would never catch them. There were hundreds of turnoffs that led out to nowhere, fields, fish ponds, trailer parks, and woods. Anyone with any sense would have turned off at one of them and found a place to hide. Sam refused to turn off the highway and hide. Somehow the fact that he was running didn't bother him, but the thought of hiding enraged him. In his mind, he was a man of honor for running, but not hiding. Hiding is for pussies and faggots, thought Sam, and he reveled in the feeling of gravity pushing and pulling at him. Some people waited for a revelation on the next page as they read the Bible. Sam waited for revelation in gravity. In the pushing and pulling, Sam instinctively felt that if gravity did not rip him to strips of bacon around the next turn or pound him like clay, that it might reveal something as wonderful as that first walk up the aisle of the old church when he had believed in salvation and feared a burning hell. "I can't believe this old boy is headed straight up the pipe." "You don't say." "Oh yes, gentlemen, if you line up where the highway becomes the Enon Church Road, you'll see him coming a long way off." The 2 officers from the next county turned on their lights and debated whether murdering a bicyclist was a crime as they headed for the Enon Church Road and where it became the highway. "What are you doing, Sammy? What have you done?" yelled Larry at the top of his lungs. The car was drafting up and down like a fucking schooner. "We're going to Coots like you wanted. With the law chasing us? They're chasing us now, but by the time we get to Cooters, they won't be." Larry had often said, "My brother is a crazy son of a bitch." Each time he had said it, he got a laugh. from girls and buddies. Now that he was close to his brother in a speeding car with a deputy chasing them, he could smell how really crazy Sam was. And he began to cry. "I knew it, I knew it, I knew it," sobbed Larry. "Knew what?" said Sam. "I shouldn't have gone to Coots today. I shouldn't have tried to buy no rock. I should have stayed home. Take me home, Sam." "God damn it, Larry, shut the fuck up and maybe I can still respect you when we get to Coots." Sam really laid it out flat, knowing that the only place the law might cut him off was where the highway became the Enon Church Road. "We're gonna make it to Coots, Larry." And so they did. Somehow Sam beat the two deputies from two counties. Bringing up the rear was the local and state police. Coot heard the commotion and lit off out his back door and into the woods. He was arrested a few days later on conspiracies to make and distribute all manner of regulated substances. Sam pulled out a gun. "What are you doing?" asked Larry. "Hold this," said Sam, putting it in Larry's hand and jumping out of the Dodge. The deputy that had seen the Dodge hit the cyclist had his gun out and nearly blew him away. But he was playing everything cool today, and Sam managed to get his hands high. "Careful, he's got a gun." He motioned with his head towards the car where his brother sat. Larry couldn't fucking believe it. He shot Sam in the side, and though he tossed the gun out after firing, one of the deputies ran up and popped him in the face twice. His brains splattered across the interior of the Dodge. The deputies took their sweet time getting Sam an ambulance, and he died face down in Coots' front lawn.